Hello, and welcome to Healthline Information Systems demonstration of our HealthE Cardiology ECG Reviewer tool. HealthE Cardiology is a workflow-based ECG management system that can be integrated with your hospital information system. It natively supports ECGs acquired using the Midmark IQ ECG device and Mortara Eli ECG units. In addition, HealthE Cardiology can work with ECGs that are sent to our system via virtual printer. If your ECG machine can print to a Windows printer, we can support it. The ECG Reviewer tool is the application used by physicians to view, read, and electronically sign ECGs. The program, like all our applications, is highly configurable. The prompts, literals, and program flow can be tailored to your needs. We'll start by logging on to the workflow. The usernames and passwords can be validated against your Active Directory if you wish. The first screen the user sees after logging in is his view of the workflow. The left-hand pane shows work lists that the user can access. This particular user only sees two, Interpret and Complete, in the Live EKG department. Keep in mind that the names are configurable. These names suffice for testing, but yours will be whatever you want them to be. I'm going to click on Interpret to start reading and signing ECGs. I get a prompt for my electronic signature PIN. Most physicians want to enter their PIN up front just once and then sign a bunch of ECGs, but the application can be configured to prompt for the PIN each time an ECG is signed. It's up to you. I'll enter my PIN and hit Enter. Now I'm looking at my work list. The work list can be configured in many ways. Maybe it shows only the ECGs that I ordered. Maybe it shows ECGs for patients that are treated by my practice. Maybe I'm the on-call physician and it shows all the ECGs that haven't been read yet. Part of our configuration process is to determine what each work list should look like so that the resulting electronic process matches your manual process. When I double-click the patient whose ECG I want to read, the ECG Reviewer tool is launched. This is a busy screen, but once you're familiar with it, you'll find that it's pretty straightforward. At the top is the toolbar that causes common commands to be executed. Below that, on the left side of the screen, is the interpretation area. This is where the physician enters his interpretation. Most physicians like to start with the ECG automatic interpretation, and we have it configured to automatically fill that in, as it is now. To the right is a window that shows general patient information. As always, we can add to or change items to show whatever is meaningful to your physicians. Next is a folder view of the patient's current and historical ECGs. This gives you a quick shortcut to prior ECGs. On the far right, the measurements are displayed, and the physician can use this window to change the numbers if he wants to. Most of the screen is taken up with ECGs. On the right is the current ECG, the one that's being read. Note that the large watermark indicating draft. We place this on any ECGs that have not yet been signed so that anyone viewing or printing the ECG will immediately know that it has not yet been read by a physician. On the left is one or more historical ECGs. These are ECGs that were done on this patient prior to the current one. The physician can use this facility to do side-by-side comparisons to see if any changes have occurred between the prior and the current ECGs. One of the features of this side-by-side comparison is the ability to zoom to a particular area. For example, if we zoom to a particular lead on one of the ECGs, all of the ECGs scroll to that same area. Then if we scroll one window, the others scroll. So the physician can get a close look at individual complexes. We also provide electronic calipers for measurements. I'll just maximize the current ECG and zoom to a lead, click the caliper tool, and measure one of the complexes. When I'm all done, I'll turn off the calipers and click the Restore My Viewing Preferences button to go back to the original display. ECG interpretations use the same phrases over and over. To make it easier for the physicians, we provide a list of canned diagnostic statements. These statements can be customized to include phrases your physician uses most often. If I click the Diagnostic Statements drop list, you'll see the standard list we provide. A physician can insert any of these statements into the interpretation by clicking it, like this. You'll see that the phrase is inserted into the interpretation field wherever the cursor was. In this example, the cursor was at the end of the phrase, so it's appended. Of course, the standard Windows undo function is supported, so if a physician makes a mistake, it can quickly be backed out. You'll also note that the drop list has what we refer to as accelerators. These are the series of letters that precede the statement. For example, DFT is the accelerator for diffuse flattening of the T waves. The physicians can use these accelerators to quickly put in a statement without actually using the drop list. For example, if I click in the interpretation field where I want to insert a statement, then type DFT and press enter, the full statement is shown. When the physician has completed his interpretation, he electronically signs the ECG and saves the result. This closes the application and automatically sends the work list item to the next step in the workflow process. When I click the Sign, Save, and Exit button, you'll see the application close and the work list reappears, but without the item we just signed. In the background, the ECG goes through several steps: a final image generation that includes the sign interpretation, archiving, and notification of your hospital system so that the order status can be updated and billing can be triggered. The ECG image can be viewed from your hospital system in a couple of ways. I don't have a hospital system handy, so I'll launch a web viewer that will prompt me for the patient's name. If I just enter part of the last name, it will find all patients that have that pattern in their last name. Then I can click the patient I want and see a list of his archived documents. Note that this particular patient only has ECGs, but if he had stress tests, laboratory results, Holters, etc. that we had archived, those would also be available. The documents in any category are listed chronologically. I can pick the most recent one. The archived item is fetched and displayed. You can click and drag the cursor to zoom to a particular area, and you'll note our signed interpretation. And of course, side-by-side comparison is possible just like in our ECG Reviewer tool. That's a quick tour of the HealthE Cardiology ECG Review tool. If you would like more information, please visit us at healthlineis.com. Thank you.